What if I told you that gas prices could dismantle the entire US economy? Would you believe me? Well, if not, you should. Because gas prices are impacting everything. From food to housing to construction, even insurance. Everything goes up as gas prices go up. Well, look at this. Oil prices jump more than 7% as Iran retaliates against Israel after a large-scale attack. That happened just today. We are seeing the stock market is selling off. Oil prices are going up. There is so much uncertainty, not just here in the United States, but around the world as well. Today I want to explain why, but also inform you as to why gas prices could actually cripple the US, why we could see layoffs, why businesses could actually go under. We've seen this before, and it could happen again. I'll break all this down in just a moment, explain what is going on and how you will likely be impacted. So make sure you stick around and watch this entire video. Also share this with your friends and family over on Facebook so they too know what's going on. But first, before we get into the update, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So it's crazy to think that gas prices are going to impact our everyday lives, but they will. And it's because we use oil for everything. Your cell phone, yeah, it requires oil. Your car obviously requires oil. Even things like furniture, couches, okay? Some of them, we use oil to make some of these products, and most people don't even realize it. That's the crazy thing. Let me explain something to you. But first, let me show you this clip right here. Because if you don't know what's happened, Israel struck Iran early this morning, and Iran fired back. Listen to this.
The world is watching to see what happens next.
Yeah, Mark, Israel struck first. They say since Iran has retaliated, and now we are awaiting word on the death toll and damages, while at the same time waiting to see how the United States might respond.
We don't know. The United States, according to President Trump, we are not involved. But then President Trump put out a quote or a statement on Truth Social. And what he said makes it look like, yes, we are more than involved, that we are an accomplice to this. That's concerning. When President Trump knew before the attack even occurred, it looks like we are complicit. That's a problem. Let me show you this. It says right here, what the Israel-Iran conflict means for gas prices. You think gas prices are going to go down because there's an Israel-Iran war? No. Gas prices are going to go up. Now, I want to show you what gas prices are today. Today, it is June 13th. You can see it right here. And gas prices, as of today, the national average is $3.13. Okay. If you look right here, if we go down a year ago, gas prices have gone down. It's $3.46 a year ago today. A month ago today, $3.15. A week ago, $3.14. Yesterday, $3.12. And currently, $3.13. Probably thinking, well, you just said gas prices could dismantle the United States. How are they going to dismantle the United States when we went up 1 cent? Well, it hasn't actually been priced in yet. Okay, that's the concern. Listen to this though. Iran's crude oil production is around 3.3 million barrels of oil per day. This makes Iran the third largest oil producing country in OPEC. Okay, Iran only produces 4% of the world's oil production. Guess who's first? The United States. The United States produces 22%. Guess who's second? Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia produces 11%. And then Russia comes in third with another 11%. Now, here's the concern. There's a war between, I don't think we have to spell it out, but Russia's still in the war, okay? Russia is still in the war. We know this against Ukraine. This isn't something that's going to be over in the matter of days. So, the third largest oil producing country is in a war. That's one of the reasons why even President Biden said this early on. He said this before Russia even invaded Ukraine. That if Russia invades Ukraine, oil prices are going to go up. The United States will get involved, and well, we will all pay the price. And we have. So Russia is currently in a war. Iran, again, they're only producing 4%, 3.3 million barrels of oil per day. That's still substantial, but again, it's not going to cripple us if it's just Iran. But when you factor in Russia, when you factor in Iran, when you factor in Saudi Arabia, who's a neighbor, okay, who's right there next to Iran, right there next to Israel. Here's what experts are saying. Here's the problem. We could see gas prices surge simply because tensions will cause oil tankers to stop delivering oil to and from nearby countries because they are concerned that they could be hit. Yeah. You think any company wants to have that liability on their hands? That their oil tanker is coming from Iran? No. Nobody wants that. Something, coming from Kuwait? Yeah. This is the issue. So some are saying that oil prices are going to surge, and as soon as they do, gas prices will jump. According to reports, that could happen in about 2 to 3 weeks. So just because we are seeing this, where it actually went up by 0.5 cents, okay, from yesterday to today, or 0.4 cents, people are thinking, gas, it's not going to impact gas prices. It will. We saw this back in the 2000s. We've seen it before, okay? We've seen it as soon as gas prices start trickling up. Back in 2022, when gas prices hit all-time highs. All-time highs. This actually happened 3 years ago from tomorrow. Look at this right here. Highest recorded average price on June 14, 2022. So that is a day, that's 1 day away. Tomorrow, it's 3 years from tomorrow. We were at $5.01. Diesel, $5.81. Why is this a big deal? Well, listen to this. Here's the problem. It says companies will not be able to handle an increase in gas prices. Here's why. They're going to have to pay these prices. Think about this, for instance. Let's say you are your McDonald's, okay? You're McDonald's, and now you want to get your Big Mac patties and your hamburger buns and the fries. You want to get those from the distribution center to your store. How do you get it there? Okay? Do you put it in a Tesla and it drives itself? Probably not. Do you put it in a big old truck and it delivers it and there's a driver in there? Yeah. So guess what? That truck requires some type of fuel, which means there is oil involved. Okay? Oil prices are going to play a massive role here. So think about this for a second, because this happened just 3 years ago, where truckers were simply parking their truck. I had friends that sold their trucks because gas prices got so high, but yet they had contracts from months prior that they had to fulfill. Yet they couldn't do it because they were losing so much money by delivering the goods for these companies. Because they already signed the contract, they were on the hook for whatever the price was, but gas prices rose so rapidly. That was the reason why. A few of my friends, they, again, sold their trucks. They didn't go and find somebody else to drive for. They simply got out of the business. They're not truckers anymore. Now others, obviously they did. They continued down that path. They're still in that industry, but now they could feel the effects of an additional war. I don't know what's going to happen, but what I can tell you is what companies have done in the past is they slowly raise prices. Okay? I've seen this before. Remember the egg crisis? Remember where Denny's came out and charged an additional $1 per egg? Yeah, we could see that again. Now, maybe it's not with eggs. Maybe it's everything. That, because of the fuel cost, we're going to add a 50-cent surcharge to your bill. Great. So every time I go to Denny's, and I got to pay 50 cents per person. Now, again, I'm just throwing that out there. Okay? What if you go to Cracker Barrel? And again, $1 an egg. Great. Okay? Wonderful. Yeah. That's the issue that we're going to face. Okay? That we are potentially 2 to 3 weeks away from seeing gas prices jump. And as they do, it could actually cripple and dismantle the entire United States economy. So just be prepared that these are things that economists are concerned with and looking at. How does the United States, how are we impacted because of the war that's going on between Israel and Iran? Now, just want to say this. Is this somewhat premature? Potentially. Because is this a for sure war? Some say yes, others say no. But according to Iran, they were saying that it was an escalation of war. Well, if Iran attacks Israel, which they did, that is again an escalation of war. So we'll see what happens moving forward. The one thing I can tell you right now is if you have the ability to, go and fill up your vehicles. Just make sure you're not caught when prices do jump. Some are expecting they're going to jump anywhere from 10 to 25 cents a gallon within 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll see what happens, but that's what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.